This Ullas Bengali Association of Utah, your members, do you know you really sing well? And the group that you were giving the training, the two junior boys they are also learning. And the first lady who sang Ramakrishna Sharanam, and this song was composed in Cherrapunji. And I was there at that time when the song was composed. One Arun Chatterjee and his wife, they came to visit our ashrama there in Cherrapunji, and it was a rainy evening. We were meditating inside our shrine. Suddenly the gentleman started playing on the harmonium. We were not liking because the sound was disturbing our meditation. 3 brahmacharis, we were there. Then we found that he is making a beautiful music. Then our in-charge Swami Gokulananda Maharaj came, and I thought that he is going to ask him to stop it. But instead he told, it's a beautiful music. What was the song? He said, I didn't compose, I'm just making the music. Then slowly we all sat and all these different words, Ramakrishna Sharanam. The 10th president of the Ramakrishna order, Vireshwaranandaji liked this song very much. Then afterwards it became very popular. And I liked because the lady sang the original tune. You know, the moment it goes to different places and adding the tune and if you know the music you will add and you will deduct like this. But she sang. Thank you. And I am grateful to the Interfaith Round Table, the members, because giving me an opportunity to come over here, and also the Vedanta Study Circle, Utah. So this is my second visit. In the beginning I came to attend the Parliamentary Religion. There's a beautiful meeting was here. So many of our Swamis we came, and this is the second visit. Yesterday only we were discussing about the importance of spiritual life, and today we will try to find out what is that Atman, the self. Friends, the 3 questions right from the beginning of the human civilization or the creation, the 3 questions haunted the mind of the thinkers. So, who am I? Where from have I come? Who is my creator? So, ko ayam, in Sanskrit they say, ko ayam, kuto ayata kava gati me. So, who am I? And what is this universe? Who is this creator? And what is the relation between the creator and the creation? Any philosophy, whatever it may be, they give the answer to these 3 questions. If they cannot give the answer to these 3 questions, it is not a philosophy. Philosophy means creator, creation, and the relation between the 2. These are the 3 questions and answer to these 3. So this is, we began with the question. And we find in the Upanishads, the student, he is going to his teacher and he is asking, said, what is this that has created us? Are there many people or one or what? He is asking. Venerable said, what was there before the creation? What was there before the creation? Then the Guru answered, and in the Upanishad in nice Sanskrit he said, Sad eva saumya idam agra asit ekam eva advityam. The dear student, there was one being alone in the beginning. We find it in the Chandogya Upanishad. Friends, I will request you to remember this. Only one being and no 2. And this is Hinduism. Hinduism, if you go to any Hindu temple, I think there is also a Hindu temple over here. Any Hindu temple, there will be so many gods and goddesses. And the most of the Hindus also won't be able to tell the names of the gods and goddesses. And jokingly I say, if you go particularly in Chicago, where is our ashrama, near 4 miles away, there's a Hindu temple in Lemon village. And so many gods and goddesses. I say, if you, in the morning, if you go, bow down to all the gods and goddesses, your morning exercise is over. There's so many gods and goddesses. But Hindu worship only one god and without any form. And that is, we are going to find out. And here, when he is asking this question, Sat eva Soumya, Sat means existence. There's only one existence. And Soumya, the dear one, Idam Agra Asid, in the beginning there was only one and no two. Then how the creation came? This is a very tricky question. How the creation came? There was only one. And where from these millions and millions came? And the Vedanta gives the answer that as if there was a desire in the mind of that particular one, Ekam Sad Bahudha Vadanti. Ekam Sad Bahudha Vadanti. Ek, the one, and the many people they call them in many different names. And the desire came, I want to be many. Now if you ask the question, why the desire came, we cannot answer. No one can answer. This is just as if the desire came. The moment the desire came, in the beginning there was one absolute. Oh. Next one. There was one absolute, and that one desired to be many. Ekaham bahushyamavehi. In Sanskrit they say Eka aham, I am alone. Bahushyamavehi, I want to be many. And the moment that thought came, immediately the name and form, next. All this came. No. There are so many, just as an idea, millions and millions of the creation came. So the Bhagavad Gita and all others, scripture, whenever they give try to describe the creation, they nicely, very beautifully, they describe in this way. Next. Urdha Moolam Adhashakam. Urdha Moolam, the Moola, the root is on the upper, that means the God or the Supreme Being. Adhashakam, the creation is coming from the above to down. Usually the tree is, the root is down and the branches are up. Here, the creation, the tree of the creation, it is a root on the up and the creation, all the branches are down. Different types of things they started developing. There's a very funny thing happened. When I was coming to America, I went for the interview, for the passport. And I was expecting all people told me that they will ask you about why the 50 stars in the American flag and why these. And so all American history in brief I was reading. Someone purchased a book. I was very excited what they will ask. The first president of America, all the thing I remember. And when I went over there, the gentleman, the American gentleman, the first question he asked, do you know what the question? What is the first verse of the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita? American gentleman, he is asking the first verse of the Bhagavad Gita, and in the 15th chapter, this one. Urdha Moolam Adhashakam Ashyatam Brahurabhayam. Luckily I knew that. You know why? Because the traditional monks, if we go to the Uttarakhand and for our food, we have to sit on there's a line, and they will ask us to chant this 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So they say, if you like to go to visit those places, naturally the Hindu monks, they love to go to Himalaya, and if you can't chant, they will ask you to get out from there. You won't get food. So the first of the Bhagavad Gita, the chapter that we memorize is 15. And from there he asked, I was so happy that I could answer. So 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita, it says about the creation, and the creation is this, coming down. Now, next. Now this is from the absolute. You have to put little attention to this. that the creation of the theory of the Hindus, first is completely absolute, and note two, the same absolute is without any qualities. This qualities in Sanskrit is called guna. Guna are the qualities. And what are the qualities? Sattva, Raja and Tama. These three qualities, good, medium and bad. These three qualities, and that is permutation and combination, all this creation is coming. But it is completely absent in the absolute one. The moment these three qualities are there in any one, there is finite, limited, going to be destroyed. And the creator cannot be destroyed. So the first one, you see the absolute, God without any attributes. And from there came down the Ishvara. When he called the Bhagavan, the Ishvara, this is the second one. Why? Swaguna Brahma. Now the same person which was having without any quality, now as if getting these three qualities. The moment the three qualities, creation begins. And we call that second attitude of the Absolute at Ishvara or God or Saguna Brahma, Saguna, with attributes, Brahman. And from there it comes to Hiranyagarbha, another name. This Hiranyagarbha, the firstborn, it. Three questions right from the beginning of the human civilization or the creation. The three questions haunted the mind of the thinkers. So, who am I? Where from have I come? Who is my creator? So, ko ayam, in Sanskrit they say, ko ayam, kuto ayata kava me. So, who am I? But it is completely absent in the absolute one. The moment these three qualities are there in any one, it is finite, limited, going to be destroyed. And the creator cannot be destroyed. So the first one, you see the absolute, God without any attributes. And from there came down the Ishvara. When he called the Bhagavan, the Ishvara, this is the second one. Why? Swaguna Brahma comes to Hiranyagarbha, another name. This Hiranyagarbha, the firstborn, it is also called Mahat or Brahma. We should not mix with Brahman or Brahma or Brahman. These three words, it is so close. The most of the time we make a mistake. No, the three are completely different. Brahman is absolute reality, only consciousness and nothing else. And then comes the Hiranyagarbha, the firstborn. And the firstborn is also called Mahat and also Brahman. This is the cosmic mind. This is the subtle aspect, cosmic mind. Now, sometimes we say that person is so good. Why? Because the first quality, the purity, harmony, knowledge, that is more present in that particular person. It's called Sattva Guna. The Sattva Guna, they are good people. And the second comes the Rajagunas. See the desire and then the turbulence and activity. He is a good person but wants to say, don't forget that I did it for you. The Sattva-guna person will never say, he will do for you and then forget. And if you are even mentioning about it, he will feel shy, oh don't mention about it. He just loves and he does. But the second person, he also will do. But he will say, don't forget that I did it for you. And not only that, sometimes when there is a gathering, suddenly he will mention that. Hey, how your things are going on? I give all those things to you. Do you remember that? I am maintaining all this. So he will remind everyone. But he's a good person. So it's called second grade Raja. Majority of us are having that Raja. And there is another group of people, the Tamas, inertia, their conflict, inaction, So this is, if you go and ask that gentleman, so I was actually searching for this particular street, road, can you please help me? He will show you the different road. Go. Why? Just fun. And he enjoys that someone is suffering. So like this, these tamas we call asura. Sura means God. Asura means this tamas. So what is the difference? Good and bad? Because this. And now, is it that one person having only the sattva and no raja and tama? No. All the three gunas are always present within us. All of us. And in the morning we get up and then the song that they were singing, in your openness, I want to be, there's no problem. Like that. We are musing and singing, mind is very happy, and some son came and told, Papa, do you like to give me the key of the car? I like to drive. Oh yes, son, go take it. And then you go to office, some problem comes and you come back angry. Then the son comes again and say, now you have come back, can I use your car? Go and sit and read. Don't use my car. So, second, Raja. And the third, you break, there's something. The same person is doing like this, angry. You never like to listen, never like to judge. Why? These three gunas. When the sattva gunas are already present, you are good. So we had to try to become sattva gunas. Then the creator and the creation, it becomes separate. This separation, this creator and the creation. Now we are the same material, same thing, like the creator. And who is the creator? To be very simple word we can use, God. God is the creator. How God has created? Out of His own image. Because there is no other material. Sometimes some philosophers, they are confused. They will be telling God is creating, but out of what? If there is a material, that means the two existences, isn't it? The existences, two existences means there are chances of colliding. There must be only one. And from one, if you are creating, out of what? From that one? This is a very typical mathematics. Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. In the sense, they will be chanting. From the complete, you take the complete. And what remains? The complete. There is no changes. When one teacher was teaching a boy mathematics, he gave him a candy. How much is it? 1. Okay, I give you another 1. This is 1 plus 1, 2. Okay, suppose you give 1 to your friend, what will happen? Then the boy answered, fighting. Why? I won't give, because I want to eat both. So the 1 minus 1, he doesn't like to learn. 1 plus 1 is okay. So this is always we think, from 1 if we take 1, it will be 0. No. This is complete. Because from that supreme God who is all pervading, if everything has come, that is only God, isn't it? So this is the way. Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, if the God is creating, the God will be exhausted. From the God, if God is creating so much, then there will be no God. Because the God has created so many, it will be exhausted completely in. No, it cannot be. The God is full and He is creating from His own being, at the same time He is full. So this is a very, very subtle part to understand in the philosophy. So God created, God differentiated. Why? Ego. In the Christian theology, Christian thing, if you read, God created the last creation, man and woman, Adam and Eve, and He told, be over here, I am coming back. In the meantime, someone came. That is the part we cannot understand. Someone came and he offered the apple. Of course, the apple, the merchants of the apple, they are protesting. Why do you say apple? The apple is not that a bad thing. But anyway, something he gave, they ate, and then what happened actually? Why God banished them? That part we do not actually learn properly. When the God came back, they were hiding, and they were using the big leaves to cover their body. That means body consciousness came. That means I consciousness came. That means separation from God. The moment there is a body consciousness, that means I consciousness, the moment you say I, that you are separate. Then the God said, go, like this. Here also, the ego came. There is many stories are there. The Brahma, he was creating, because the God asked him to create. The Brahma first created the Sapta Rishi, then he created the other being. But he asked him, go, and now you have to generate, and then you have to all this population should come all over. I like to see. They said, no sir, we like to meditate. The Brahma told, why? Why they like to meditate? They don't like to marry, they don't like to do anything. Why? Then Brahma meditated again and concentrated. What is the defect? Defect is Brahma was creating out of his own, and that is Sattva Guna. All the creation was Sattva Guna. Then next Brahma created and gave Rajaguna. Then the second creation, Prajapati. And the Prajapati means the ruler of the subjects. So they came and told, sir, tell us what to do. Then the Brahma understood, now it's okay. The egoistic person, he said, go. So it's separation because of the ego. We will come back next. So this is called jiva. So what is this jiva? This is a peculiar combination of consciousness and unconscious thing. Very peculiar. There's a body, there's an unconscious being, unconscious thing. When there is no soul, when there is no life, this body, when the people, particularly Hindus, they burn the body. The dead body never complain, hey, this is very warm. This is very hot. Can anybody say like that? Never. Because the fire, or if you are throwing that on the street, nothing happens. So the body is inert. But when in that body something remains which we call as life, then it is very, very important. So that is called the Atman. That part, it came inside the body and is called jiva. In Sanskrit it says chit jada granthi. Chit means consciousness, jada means inert, they become one, united. Now here we find so many varieties, microcosm, all living beings, all, and each and every one wants to live. And among all this creation, only the human being is the best. Why? If you go to the major religion, all of them they will say. The Christianity say God created man out of his own image. What is this image? Does it mean that the God looks like us? No. The spatial quality that the God is having, and we are also having, discriminating capacity. We can understand what is good and what is bad. We can judge, which is absent in other things. Maybe little, but maximum is in the human. The human brain is very, very important. And from it comes, see now, as because we have to concentrate on us. What we are. The Vedanta never say, go and believe. The Vedanta always say, judge and understand. And you see these are the physical sit. And it says first, physical sit, Annamaya Kosha. Then come energy seat, pranamaya kosha. Then come mental seat, manomaya kosha. Then wisdom seat, vijnanamaya kosha. And finally, the bliss one, that is anandamaya kosha. Usually they say, what is a human being? As a mind and body complex and nothing else. But we say no. The 5 different seats are there. Annamaya, this physical body. And then manomaya, that is the mental. Pranamaya, that is also energy is there. Now if you bring a cow from Gujarat, India, over here, will the cow cry, hey, where is my sister, where is my brother? Well, the cow will be very happy if they get their proper food, that's all. But if you bring a human being from Gujarat and tie and give the proper food, good food to him, will he be happy with the food? No. Why? He needs friends. He needs all things. When these ladies were, and of course 4 gentlemen were also there, they were singing, all of us were enjoying, particularly those who could understand the Bengali language, they were enjoying the beautiful rhythm, beautiful words, wonderful meaning. So that we like. And when a singer is coming, all we go to listen to that song. When a musician is coming, we go over there to enjoy. Why? Because we have the mental set. It's not only physical. The mental is also there. Apart from that, the wisdom. Someone came and gave a lecture and that making everybody angry and going and fighting with the others. Then we say, no, it is not good. We should not do like this. Where from the thought came? Wisdom. It is already there within us. The wisdom is also there. Vijnanamaya kosha. Then ananda, bliss, joy. Yesterday we were discussing on this. And suppose someone says, if you take all my miseries, I will give you $2 million. Is there anyone to go and take that? $2 million? Give me all your miseries. So no one will take that. Everyone wants to be happy. Whatever we do wants to be happy, that's all. Sometimes in the summertime, maybe here also, in Chicago, all the bikers come out. And they'll be driving the bikes. Only little shorts are there, because all their muscle hands are tattooed, and nice tattooed. So they want to show it. Maybe they are suffering because of the wind, but still they wear it. Why? That is the joy. They do only to have the joy and nothing else. Whatever we do, only joy. And that is the basis, ultimate. So all these joys that comes temporary. And now the winter is approaching, they will put their bike back. Again they will put on the shirt and dresses. Well, again after 6 months, they will do. So the temporary joys. Is there any permanent joy? People like to have that. And for that is the search. We are searching for the permanent joy. And not only this, the Vedanta, just like a scientist, they analyze and analyze and analyze, and they go deeper and deeper. There is a Sanskrit sloka, Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana nirvedamaya pratikritena. They examine the all external thing. In our country, particularly India, the subcontinent, there's so many rivers are there. And because of the rivers, sweetwater rivers, the land is also fertile. So their economical problem was solved. And then they started thinking for the joy, permanent joy. And they were thinking, if I have a lot of money, shall I have the joy? No. If I have a lot of property and all the nothing. Pariksha lokan. They were examining and they found no. There are beautiful stories. And one king, he wanted to live and survive. Then, in the story, he went and told the god, I like to again survive. Well, you better go to your son. And the son lifetime is 80 years. you can get that 80 years. If they give, okay. He went to his senior son, next son. So none agreed. Then the last one said, okay. So then he gave his life to his father. He lived that life also. Even after that, he was not satisfied. Then ultimately he said, no. Just by bhoga, by enjoying the material thing, you cannot satisfy yourself. You cannot. I have noticed, sometimes in the newspaper it comes, that a group of people, young men, they are hopping from one bar to another bar. Why? The same wine. Why they are going from here to there, here to there? Nothing. But they are not satisfied. After drinking the bar, let us go over there. After drinking over there and dancing, next day. Whole night they will do, and what happens? Somebody helps them to reach back. Is that the joy? No. Then what is the joy? Next day again he is getting up and thinking for the joy. Why people take narcotics and all these drugs? Just to forget the pain and to go into joy. So joy is the goal, but they do not know what is the source of joy. What is the source of joy? Here we will come to Atman, the pure consciousness that is within us. And then we have three different bodies. One is the gross body, the waking experience, Jagat. Second is the subtle body, the dream experience. And third is the causal body, deep sleep. Now friends, there is a big question. How can you say that there is Atman, the consciousness within us? Just because you say we have to accept? No. Vedanta always said no. You should judge, you should examine, and then only it is possible for you to understand and then develop your life on that. How to examine that? There is consciousness. When we are awake, and this is a very, very special point of the Vedanta to prove. And you yourself can judge it. We are now in a waking stage. What is the waking stage? Now your body and mind is active, isn't it? Your body and mind is active. Now there is a dream stage. Each and every one of us, we dream. And in the dream stage, our body is inactive because we are sleeping. And only my mind is active. How we see the dream? Through mind. The one person was sleeping with the glasses on. Then his friend asked, hey, why with the glass you are sleeping? Now if I see the dream, I will see it clearly. So, now you don't need the glass to see your dream. Why your mind is seeing that? The first is the gross one. Second is the subtle one. This all of us are experiencing. Have you ever noticed? All of us, almost every day, we come back from the sleep and say, today I had a nice sleep, not even any dream. Dream means mind is alert and you become tired. And when there is a dreamless sleep, you are fresh. But dreamless sleep means your body is absent, your mind is absent. Then what was there that came back to report that you were sleeping and happily? What was there? That is called consciousness. That is the proof of the consciousness. Every day we go to that, and that is called susupti in Sanskrit, the third stage, susupti. But when through meditation, by controlling all our consciousness, the senses, when you go to that level, it's called fourth, chaturtham. One lady called me and said, I have a newborn son. Can you give him a name? I was reading Vedanta. I said, give him the name Chaturtham. She couldn't understand. She said, no, this is a fast born. I said, okay. Chaturtham means the fourth one. What is that fourth stage? First is waking stage, second is dream stage, third is dreamless, and fourth, pure consciousness. And what the yogis, they do, pure consciousness. What happened there? No mind, no body, only joy, only peace, only happiness. Those who meditate, they don't like to mix with people. They don't like to talk. They don't need anything. They search for a quiet place where they will sit and meditate. Why? Because joy. We can't stay after 1 or 2 hours, hey, let us go to this park, this place, that place. Why? Because mind is agitated. But those who are meditating, withdrawing all the senses, they will go to the 4th stage. In this 4th stage, now let us compare this cosmic condition is called microcosm and individual macrocosm, individual microcosm. So macrocosm and microcosm, these are the two. One is the cosmic, the causal body of the cosmic is Ishvara. We say God. The gentleman yesterday, he was asking, what is God? I told him to come today, that he could understand, this is the God. We say God, this causal body is an abhyakta. Causal means abhyakta, not manifested. It is there in a subtle form. That is Ishvara. And exactly the next, in the causal body, prajna, for the individual one. Prajna means knowledge. Prajnavan, sometimes we say. This not only ordinary knowledge. This is spiritual knowledge. The knowledge about the subtlety, that is called prajna. Second comes the subtle body, hiranyagarbha, for the macrocosm. And for the individual, it is Tejasha, only the name. This is subtle body. When we die, what happens to us? Our body is lying over here. What goes out? Even the best friend, very close relative also don't like to see that body. And then devotees, they were telling, Swamiji, please come to us, come to me. So I said, okay, then suppose I come without that particular thing that is called the Atman. Are you ready to accept me? There's a dead body coming. No, you cannot. Why? That is the important. The subtle body is that particular part that goes out after we die. And what is this subtle body? All the combination of our work. That is another topic. I should not enter into that. After the death, our mind collects all the impressions. If you have done good work, our impressions will be good. Next life, you will be happy. You will be born in a very good family, very good parents, very good environment. All good things will be there before you. And if you are not, exactly opposite condition. Right from the birth, people suffer. So this is called the subtle body. Then comes the gross body, Virata. And in the individual, is called Vishwa. Now, how it is just an example, and the next it gives. The example it gives like this: the sun is reflecting. It is reflecting on the mirror. Ishvara is not the original consciousness. It's not. It is only reflection, but the reflection is very big. That's why when that pure consciousness is reflecting on the mirror, as if that is Ishvara. But the same consciousness is reflecting on me, on my ego, on my mind, and that is called Jiva. Chaitanya Upahita Ahamkara, they say. Chaitanya means consciousness, Upahita, reflected on consciousness. When we say the Jivatma, what is that Jivatma? It is consciousness reflecting on our ego. And what is Ishvara? It is a consciousness reflecting on Maya, the sum total of the Ahamkara. Now, if you remove the Maya and also the ego, what will happen? What remains? Only consciousness. So this way, we say that we are that Jiva and we can become God. But Lord Jesus said, "Blessed are those who are pure in heart, for they shall see God." What is that purity? Swami Vivekananda said, each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity within. What is this divinity? What is this purity? Only two qualities. One is love and unselfishness. Friends, if we close our eyes and we can think, we have love. We love so many people. We love our kith and kin. We love our country. We love our countrymen. We love so many. But still limited. When that love will break and embrace the whole universe, if you can feel the pang when someone somewhere is suffering, that is called divine love. And the moment you will have that love, you will have unselfishness, because there will be no only for me and mine, that won't be there. And if we can practice that, then the circle of the birth and death, that circle we can overcome. Every time we are taking birth and remaining and then taking, slowly growing up and then one day we're dying, all these 6 changes continuously going on. Those who like this, okay, let them continue. But if you have understood that this is enough, as Lord Buddha, he understood. When he went out, he found as a man tottering on the stake, then the dead man. So then he said, no, enough. I want to go to that immortality. This is the circle. How it will be? The journey towards the source begins next. The journey towards the source begins. How it is possible? The endless, first and foremost, you have to have the desire. If you don't like it, you enjoy the McDonald's, continue. So this is not for you. I also like McDonald's, Wherever I go, I always search for the McDonald's. This is a good place. So this is if you want to enjoy this life and don't care about the other life, and next birth, no problem, next birth, no problem, continue. We are not talking with you. This is not for you. But those who have realized enough is enough. So many times we have taken birth as a male, as a female, sometimes the animals, sometimes birds, sometimes again human being. So many varieties of births that we are going on. If you read that Lord Buddha's Jataka Katha, there's 500 times the Buddha was born. So we have to, first and foremost thing is desire to be liberated. This desire to be liberated called mumukshuta. Mumukshuta means mukti ichcha, the first and foremost thing. Then in the Vedanta will teach ichcha, the first stage. What is the subhecha? Desire to get liberation. And after that, vicharana, you start inquiring. As the Narendranath, young Vivekananda, he went to the different gurus and asked one question, "Sir, have you seen God? Sir, have you seen God?" And he was mad to know the answer. And all his friends, they were telling, "Why you are asking about it? Let God be there." But he said, "No, I must have to know." So this is called vicharana. Why vicharana? Vichara means the judging. What is the judgment? I see my body is changing. I see my mind is changing. I see all around me everything is changing. There was a time in this place that there was no one was there. Then the group of people came here and they struggled. And now slowly, it is a fast growing city. And this Utah and this our Salt Lake City. Now so many people are coming. Why? They came and they thought, no, we must do it. And slowly they did it. The vichar, everything, there was nothing, something has come. And when there is something, again it will go away. So I went to visit the Red Fort in Delhi, that is in capital of India. It's a huge fort. And we purchased a ticket in 10 rupee and entered, and we were visiting everywhere. The guide took us. Even the places called Hammam, where the queens, they used to bath and all, and you can go anywhere. Then I was wondering, the Marathas came in thousands to capture this fort. Hundreds of them, they were killed. They could not enter. Then the Rajasthanis came in hundreds. They could not enter. And now, we just give 10 rupee and we enter. So this is the way things are changing. If you just observe, you can understand everything is changing. So this is called vichara. Vichara means discrimination. What is going to happen to me? Now, the Bengali Association in Chicago, they are having the meeting. What will happen to us? That is the topic they are discussing. Why? When they came, they were young. And then they got the job. Then the family. They purchased the big houses. Then afterwards, children, they grew up and then separated, different places. Now they are selling out all the big houses and going to small apartments. Because who will maintain? Now the question is, who is going to look after us? So they are planning and all this. The old age, who is going to look after us? So this is called vicharana. So this vicharana, everything is changing. I need to go somewhere where I don't need anyone. But I will be in great joy. Thought comes tanu manasa. The Sanskrit words, tanu means the lean. Manasa means the mind. Mind become lean. Why? There is no other thought but only one thought. How to realize God? How to realize God? How to get mukti? Only one thought. So the mind becomes completely lean and thin. And then sattva patti. Attainment of the sattva. Sattva means the ultimate truth. Then other three things are coming in the practices. So this is the 3 stages. Now this up to this is okay. Now this is the philosophy, and then they will come. 3 schools. The 3 schools of Vedanta, in the Hinduism we find, people talk about the Vedanta. Vedanta has 3 different schools. One is Dvaitism, and they say I and God are completely separate. Second, Vishishta Advaita, they say that we are qualified. That means I have come from God but separate. How? Like the fire and the sparks. The sparks are also nothing but the fire, but still it is separate. Then Advaita say, I am that. And 3 great teachers, they came. The first is the Dvaitism. This teacher, he said, the God is separate and I am separate. Completely separate. The 5 attitude you have to follow in the Dvaitism. Majority of the religion that we see, they follow this Dvaitism. God is separate, I am separate. So I am going to God, approaching God in different way. There's sometimes the Santa, Dasya, Vatsalya, Sakya and Madhura. In Hinduism, they allow the freedom. I like God as my child. I should take care of the God as my child. That is also allowed. No, I like God as my master. I should serve as a servant. That is also there. And this way, all the 5. Then comes the Vishishta Advaita. And he lived 120 years. And this Vishishta Advaita school, Ramanuja Acharya. And all they came from the southern part of India. And this Ramanuja Acharya, after that came Advaita Vedanta, the school of non-dualism, is Shankara Acharya. This only, he was 30 years. He survived and he gave us a wonderful philosophy called Vedanta. Advaita Vedanta, with all explanation. Now, I will go to the next. They gave us all ideas, but they gave us 4 practices that we have to practice these 4. First is Karma Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, devotion, Raja Yoga, psychic control or meditation, and fourth is the Jnana Yoga, the intellectually understanding. Now Karma Yoga, Karma means the action, the Kriya. Now a lady cooking for his family. Now if she only thinks, I am cooking for God, nothing wrong. Sometimes in the beginning, if you go and announce to all your neighbors, hey, I am going to cook for my God, they will say, okay. But you sit and all your family eating, they'll say, what is it? What is your God? You need not to go and announce in that way. Only mentally you are thinking, I am cooking for God, I am cleaning for God, I am each and everything that I am doing for God. Just thought. So action that you are doing, if you just add this thought, the same action becomes austerity, tapasya. Because your whole mind is set up in such a way, it will never allow you to think about God. You can think about anything except God. You try? You can think about anything except God. Why? Because that is the way it has been formed. So this is called tapasya, constantly fighting. Then the devotion, each and every one having the love. That love, when I give it to God, I cook for God, I care for God, all this flower I bring, first I offer to God, that is called devotion. And yoga, we train all the senses from the external objects. And the jnana, that is constantly going on, discriminating. Everything is changing. I want to be permanent. That is called the Amrit. Amrit means that now comes the Samannaya, that is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. This Samannaya, the combination of all the yogas, the goal of human life is to realize God. The first thing he said, the goal of human life is to realize God. Why? Because all of us want peace, joy, happiness, and that we can have if we truly understand what is God. But how? Any path you follow, anyone, any path, all the paths are leading to the same place. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gives wonderful example that one person is climbing, he wants to reach the top of the house, he is just going on the staircase. And another one to the elevator. Another from the outside is coming, climbing, like the rock climbing with the help of the rope. But all the three, when they reach on the top, they find the same thing. So when we see the different paths, actually they are all going to God. And what is God? Love and unselfishness. God is nothing but the love and unselfishness. And who can realize? Anyone. Anyone. Is no difference. And no linguistic, no cultural, no other differences, nothing. Only you have to have a desire. God, I do not know you. I don't have capacity to understand you. But you can help me. Please come and help me. When you realize God, what happens? Sometimes we think when we are realizing God, the external changes will come. All the lights will come out of, and the miraculous thing will do none. Your mind will change. You will feel for others. That's why Swami Vivekananda, Vivekananda said, each soul is potentially divine. Any one of us can realize God. But you have to fight a lot. Why? Because all the external thing will always come and close the thing. And you will feel whatever I am doing, I am the best. The physics I am studying, so I am the best. Afterwards you will find so many people studied physics and then all of them they passed away. So many got the Nobel prizes. They have also gone away. Ultimately where? You are alone. When you get the Nobel Prize, people will know, and after some time, you will be alone. And what will happen to that? The great people, when they are so popular, and they'll be waving hands and so many, their fans and followers, When they go back to their room, close their room, what happened? That is the time, challenging time for every individual. Are you happy then? So you have to be careful. So I am not making you afraid. Only you have to judge about it. And how it is possible? Very simple. First is the faith in the existence of the Supreme Consciousness, which we call in the simple word God. And second, when you believe in that, just a prayer, God please help me, help will come, for sure. And little activity, that means in group, just read some holy books. Your thought will be purified. As the Jesus is telling, blessed are those who are pure in heart. How the purity will come? You have to give the food to the mind, the good thoughts, good stories, good actions, that will purify your mind. And the gain is supreme. That is the joy. And all people will come to you. All this the harmony of religion, parliament of religion. What is this religion? It is only a process. I will conclude by quoting Swami Vivekananda. The interfaith, all over America, there are groups that are trying to bring different faiths together. I have published a book. If possible, I will send it to you, ma'am. So that is called Many Ways to God. And there we have given all the different religions together. At the end, I have given in one place what is the religion, when it was founded, what is the main thing, and what they do practice. And you will wonder, if you see, the Buddhists are also fasting, Muslims fasting, Christians fasting, Jews fasting, Hindus fasting, all of them. Visiting holy places, all of them. Counting the name of holy God, all of them. Then why? Why we fight? If all the actions are same, the result is also to be same. It cannot be different. Only you call it in different name, that's all. And why we fight? Because of our ego. I follow this path, and that is the only path. If you don't follow, don't talk to me. Go away. Up to this good. If you don't follow, I am going to kill you, that is dangerous. So this is the only thing we have to understand, and nothing else. What is all this religion? Swami Vivekananda said, if you can remember particularly the young generation, religion is a process that makes a brute unto man, man unto God. It's a process, system that makes a brute. What is the brute? Selfish person, only lives for himself. Makes the brute unto man. Man is a considerate one, thinks for others, praying for others, helping others, is a man. And from that condition, you become God. And what is God? Loving everyone without any barrier, without any boundary. That is God. So, religion is a process that makes a brute unto man, man unto God. And that Godhead we must reach. Each and any one can reach. Only we have to strive for that. Thank you very much.